This is Jim Cramer talking with Rev Shark Depor, who's been a contributor for RealMoney.com, proud to say for many, many years, has a new book, Invest Like a Shark. This is the book for people who want to be not a hedge fund, not a mutual fund, but want to manage money themselves in an active way, something that I've always believed is much better than a passive way. I need your help, Rev. The oil stocks are being killed. They are invariably down, say, 10% in the last 3 days, some down 15%. What do you do with a group that seems to be in free fall?
Well, I would typically approach the oil stocks. You know, it's a sector of the market that has had such strong momentum.
Right. And
the question is this just a pause in that momentum, or is this something more severe? Now, that's always a difficult question to determine. That's always the million-dollar question. So I think the way you approach it is you believe that the momentum will continue. And you might dip a toe in there and you take some positions. However, you make sure you put tight restrictions on this, tight stops, and if things do slide further, if this is not just a temporary pullback, then cut that loss quickly and get out quickly.
Let's talk about losses. In the book, you actually go forward and say that losses aren't the end of the world. I think one of the great things about Invest Like a Shark, the book, is that you break a lot of what I think are the habits of individual investors. Talk about the desire never to take a loss. Talk about how the investor seems to believe that a loss is something that is not, if it's on paper, it's not a loss. Give us some of the mistakes that you know individuals make that are corrected in Invest Like a Shark.
Well, there's a big psychological hurdle to admitting you're wrong. No one wants to admit they're wrong. And when you sell a stock for a loss, that's basically what you're doing. And so I think once you recognize that's just the nature of the stock market to have losses on a regular basis, it's going to happen no matter if you're an absolute genius of a stock market. You're going to have plenty of losses.
This is something that I know as a person who writes for Street.com like you do and has a TV show, Mad Money. People seem to be they either feel like you're making money or you shouldn't be involved in the stock market. That's just not that's not the bipolar nature of the market, right?
That's right. Well, the good investors recognize that they're going to have those losses. And it's not that makes them, if you have a bad trade or a bad investment, it doesn't undermine your ability to do very well. In fact, in my experience, the people who refuse to admit making mistakes turn out to be the worst investors because they hold on to these things too long. So people have to really change that mindset. I mean, we get a lot of negative, when we make mistakes, we're out there in the public. And we hear about it quite viciously at times. But, I just say, hey, yes, I make a lot of mistakes, but I also make a lot of good ones.
Right, it comes with the territory.
In the long run, plugging along day after day after day, making those mistakes, but offsetting them with the good stuff.
Right, and as a reader of your column in RealMoney.com and an Invest Like a Shark, I can tell you that he does make many more good ones than bad ones. Well, Rev Shark, thank you. Invest Like a Shark is the book, and I am telling people to buy this book. Thank you, Rev.
Thank you, Jim.